we'll begin this press conference. First, let me thank Texas Freedom Network for the work they do in the state of Texas in a lot of wonderful areas, and Texas Freedom Network for calling this press conference, and then to apologize to them because I hijacked their press conference. They had this already scheduled, and they were going to talk about support of the ordinance that I had presented to City Council, and upon which we were going to vote tomorrow morning. But an amazing thing happened yesterday, and that is that those of us who have been working on this ordinance and had gotten to a point where we had a sticking point, we couldn't figure out a way around it, and so we just said, all right, we're just going to go forward. Sometimes it happens, the inspiration strikes, and we figured out a way to reconcile a lot of the concerns around the ordinance. Every major city in America, except the city of Houston, has a comprehensive ordinance that prohibits discrimination among a number of different classes or groups of individuals and provides for local remedies to those individuals, except Houston. We all understand that there are federal protections for many named groups, but there is a reason that every other major city in the United States has a local ordinance as well, and that is that it is an expression of local commitment to non-discrimination, and it provides local remedies that don't require literally making a federal case out of it. And so when I started this process, and I announced in my inaugural speech back in January that we were going to proceed. I talked about it in my State of the City. Each step of the way, I've been having conversations with folks. I actually thought that what we would be doing would be taking the existing City of Houston ordinance and adding the gay and transgender communities to that ordinance. And I was shocked to discover that, in fact, Houston didn't have an ordinance, that we were unique among major American cities. And then I began to hear from lots of folks who said, we don't have a local ordinance, and we're covered by the federal statutes, and yet we still experience discrimination here in the city of Houston. And we believe Houston it's such a diverse place, it's such a welcoming place, there's so many things going right with Houston that there ought to be a mechanism to solve these problems across communities at the local level. And so while this ordinance is actually one that doesn't just cover the gay and transgender community, it provides for all of the federal protected classes as well as the gay and transgender community. It has been an opportunity to allow local solutions to address issues of discrimination across the broader spectrum. The ordinance went through a number of drafts before it ever saw the light of day, and as much as I would like to say that I'm a perfect drafter of ordinances and I talk to stakeholders and we put it out, those darn council members always want to amend whatever I put out in front of them. And so there were a number of amendments offered last week. But in the week since then, there's been a lot of really unfortunate misinformation, and there's been a focus of concern on one piece of the ordinance. Well, we put that element of the ordinance in to, I guess, to reassure people, and that has to do with specifically the transgender community and access to something so fundamental that for most of us who are working on the ordinance, we didn't think it would be controversial. We just wanted to explain. But it has become a flashpoint. And we kept trying to figure out different ways to explain why the wording was in the ordinance and explain what we meant. And the epiphany we all had yesterday, and I want to thank the Greater Houston Partnership, and I want to thank Councilmember Jerry Davis, who is going to be offering another amendment to the ordinance that I proposed. The Human Rights Campaign, various groups across the community, didn't come from the administration. It came from outside, but there's an epiphany, and like, well, if in trying to do the right thing and explain, and we kept trying to explain more and more, it's like, you know, sometimes your kids are explaining something to you and you just want to think, just stop talking, because you're just making it worse. Well, it was time to stop talking because we were making it worse. And so the solution is to remove that particular section of the ordinance. And we have strong commitment on council and strong commitment across the community for the base ordinance. And we have strong commitment on council, strong commitment across the community for some of the proposed amendments, including to reduce the size of companies in a thoughtful and careful manner down to, it would apply to companies of 15 employees and above, but we will remove tomorrow, there'll be a motion to remove the specific section where we just got deeper and deeper into trying to explain things in terms of transgender access to bathrooms. You know, we wouldn't be standing here today without a lot of folks who have been very engaged in the process. I want to give sincere thanks to everyone who's been involved, and the fact that even through a public hearing, a marathon public session, I'm assuming there's going to be another marathon public session this afternoon, Houstonians have done what we take pride in. We've been civil, we've been thoughtful with each other, vehemently disagreed on some of the issues that have been raised, but it has been a remarkably smooth and careful process, and I want to thank everybody involved and encourage everybody to continue to disagree as politely as possible, and to show the rest of the United States how to handle tough issues the Houston way.